What's up, Vikings Nation? We are inching closer to 1,000 subs, and that's my goal. And you can help me reach that by subscribing right now for endless amounts of Viking content. So now that Zadarius Smith has officially been traded, we got to talk about the Dalvin Cook situation and kind of what lies ahead. Are we going to keep him? Are we going to release him? Are we going to trade him? What is going to happen? Okay. Now we're going to look at an article from Bleacher Report that kind of dives through what Jeremy Fowler of ESPN kind of said about the current situation with Dalvin Cook. It starts off by saying, Dalvin Cook's future remains up in the air given his cap hit of approximately $14 million. But the Minnesota Vikings reportedly have the running back's best interest in mind as they pursue different options this offseason. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler revealed as much on SportsCenter. He says, Dalvin Cook's future has been sort of open-ended recently. I was told from a source that the Vikings want to do right by Dalvin Cook. Right now, they're willing to hold on to his cap hit of around $14 million until they figure this all out. They want him to go to a place where he can play and be happy, whether that's via trade or eventual release or even staying in Minnesota. But that's sort of the thing they've been kind of sorting through, right? Seeing all options, see what best works for the team, the organization, and most importantly, Dalvin Cook, okay? Because he's been a Viking for quite some time now. Got to do right by the running back. He also says, I believe the Vikings have been willing to listen to trade offers. I talked to some teams who have linked Dalvin Cook to Miami in the past just because he's a South Florida guy. They were looking for a running back at one point, but they also just drafted one in the third round and had re-signed a couple of players. So there's not a clear-cut avenue for him to be traded, at least at this moment. And so the Vikings moved on from Zadarius Smith. They could be willing to move on from Dalvin Cook at some point, but it hasn't shaken out just yet. Now, as Fowler noted, Cook was linked to the Miami Dolphins around the draft. However, like they said, they selected Texas A&M's Dalvin Akan, I don't know, sorry I butchered his name, okay, in the third round and have something of a crowded running back rotation with the rookie alongside Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Myles Gaskin. Now, taking on a contract like Cook's might no longer be on the table for Miami, adding more uncertainty to the situation for the Minnesota Vikings. So as Jeremy Fowler said, look, the Vikings are willing to maybe keep him at that $14 million cap hit. It would suck. Obviously, we still got to sign some of our draft picks yet, but at the same time, I'd be okay with keeping him on the team. Now, if we were to trade him, there's not many teams that would kind of jump at the bit. I mean, we've seen what we got for Zadarius, 2 fifth-rounders. We still had to trade two draft picks and stuff like that. But just a couple teams that we could see Dalvin Cook potentially be traded to, or if he's released, he could sign with would be like the New Orleans Saints. They're really unsure what's going to happen with Alvin Kamara and his whole situation regarding the elevator incident just a couple years ago. The Carolina Panthers, even though I'm not sure that's going to happen because they did get Miles Sanders. The Chicago Bears, again, don't think that's going to happen. We won't trade them in division at all. Kansas City Chiefs would be interesting. Las Vegas Raiders, another one. Atlanta Falcons, yeah, but even though they signed or drafted Bijan Robinson out of Texas. So there's a couple teams that Dalvin could go to. It's kind of just all up to the Vikings to figure out what the next move is and kind of see, you know, the trade offers, kind of feeling the table, what's happening right now. There's not much happening other than the Vikings have the best interest of Dalvin Cook in mind, which they should. But $14 million cap hit is quite a bit. But if the Vikings are willing to keep that, I'd be A-okay with that. We had to have him, Alexander Madison, Kene Nwangwu, Ty Chandler, the running back from UAB. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. But you get it. Look, the situation right now currently remains undecided. I'm sure we'll have more that comes out about this within the coming weeks. And hopefully, you know, he's either on the team or he's gone and we get some good draft value for it, draft capital for it. So you let me know in the comments what you think about this situation. What do you want to see with Dalvin Cook? Drop a like and hey, subscribe to the channel. We're almost to 1,000 subs. You can help me reach that goal by subscribing right now. Have a great rest of your day, folks, and Skol Vikes.